All right, let's go ahead and get started. I won't keep you guys any longer. Hopefully we get some more jumping on, but I appreciate you joining again for another training call. And what we'll do is we'll pick up from where we left off a few weeks ago. And we were digging into a training series titled Shortages. And if you remember, what we were dealing with was shortages that are common, and pretty much most people have these issues or these things that are brought about through, whether it's through how we're eating or how we're moving or because we are exercising, and then also lifestyle factors. So we got to look at these shortages, and what's great about it is if you start to dig into this, you can see where there's a case for supplements as a solution. It's a case for certain supplements, which we talked about the key supplements. And so we're going to keep going down that road. And I'm going to talk about a specific product today. But before we do that, I do want to kind of recap things, because again, it's been a couple weeks. So hang with me for a few minutes because I want to go through the shortages that we looked at and the cases that we talked about. And that first one was the case for a multivitamin. And when we looked at, it's grounded in the fact that basically hardly anyone eats perfect. And we know there's shortages because of, how food is prepared, how it's stored, agricultural technology. There's certainly gaps in a lot of people's nutrition, gaps in vitamins and minerals, and we don't want that, and then you sprinkle in the fact that people are exercising, that you guys know you're dealing with people that are moving more. There's nutrient loss that happens when you exercise. So there is a need to boost nutrients. So that's why we talked about, number one, the multivitamin, the daily essentials, and how that is such a great conversation to say, hey, you know what, let's make sure we're plugging nutrient gaps because of those shortages that I just mentioned. And it's a great primer. I think I may have mentioned this on when we went into this particular product is, you're going to paint a wall, and the first thing you really want to do is lay down a primer. Because then when you put on that coat of paint, it looks good. You don't have to sit there and put on 2, 3, 4 coats of paint, right? So same thing when you talk about a multivitamin, it really is a primer for all things. When you talk about digestive health, immune system, metabolism, repair, recovery, that makes sure that there is no gaps because those vitamins and minerals are key for all things in the body. So make sure we're plugging those nutrient gaps so that we have that primer taken care of, and then everything we do from eating and moving is more impactful. So definitely the case for a multivitamin was one of the first things we talked about. The next one, we talked about protein. And if you remember, there's really not necessarily a shortage per se, but when you look at the average female consuming 70 grams of protein, average male consuming 100 grams of protein, that's probably, you can make the case, that's probably okay for sedentary people, people that aren't moving. Maybe you can make that case. I mean, I would say that's still not enough. But when you have people that are trying to build lean mass or maintain muscle tissue, you got to know your magic number. You got to hit that magic number daily. And so that's why we talk about protein, because you guys all know protein is that's what it's designed to do: repair, rebuild, maintain muscle tissue. And you don't ever want to be short, because if you're short, you may have just killed your workout and the opportunity that what you're trying to do with your muscle tissue. So making sure that you have a plan that makes sure you hit that protein every day, so there is no shortage, is critical. And then the next one we talked about was meal replacement. And remember, you're 8 times more likely to lose weight just by taking a shake a day. The research was there. There was some really cool research that we looked at. And how easy is that? You talk about the shortage of people being busy, not preparing, not taking the time. And you look at, well, how can we just say, you know what, do a shake? I mean, how easy is that? And making sure it's balanced, you don't have to think about it, and it tastes great. So that helps obviously with the shortage of, and I believe it's some of the biggest shortages is, listen, people just aren't taking the time. Maybe they don't have the time. They're not preparing, and probably most people aren't knowledgeable of what they should be doing. And one of the biggest things you can impact is getting someone a shake or two a day to keep hunger in check. nourish the muscles every 2 to 3, 4 hours, balance the blood sugar, help with appetite control. That was a big one we talked about. You know, if you're spreading your meals out more consistently throughout the day, your appetite control goes up 27%. That's huge, especially when you're looking at people that want to increase weight loss. So those are some key shortages that we dug into. Now, when we take the next journey down this road of shortages, before we do that, I want to flash this up. And take a look at this for me. Look at the screen here. And this is really what we're solving for. Not only those 3 products that we talked about, but the next one as well is when you look at someone that, and I'm going to go down the road of overweight, because that's where, you know, most people, their goal is weight loss. So let's take some time on this a second. And I believe there's really 3 critical things when you look at what we're trying to solve for. Number 1 is calories consumed. You know, listen, people aren't eating good. They're not aware of their portion sizes. And they're probably not knowledgeable, because if they're not aware of their portion size, they don't understand how much calories they're putting in their body or what they should be eating. And you know what? They're busy and stressed, so they're not going to prepare and plan as best as they probably should, which means it's highly likely that they're eating a lot of calories. Now, the other side of that is, well, how are they moving? Well, most people we know aren't moving enough. A lot of times that can be because they're busy, they're stressed, they forego exercise, they're not coming in as much as they should be. So when you look at calories consumed, calories burned, big deal. And then you look at the nutrient side of it, people aren't getting the nutrients that they need. Now, that can be because of how they're eating and the types of food they're eating, or just the fact that the nutrients aren't there as they used to be, and then not focusing on balance, which obviously can cause the nutrient range to go down. So when you look at this right here, you see we got a lot of things to solve for. Now, certainly a multivitamin helps, certainly a meal replacement helps, and certainly protein can help. All these facets right here that we're looking at. Now, watch the screen real close for me for a second. I want to entertain you with something real quick. Watch the transition here when we talk about weight loss. What we want to do, for the most part, is get control of the calories. Now, most people are going to need to, keep their calories in check a little bit better. We want to obviously move more, but that's not it. We also want to drive more nutrients in the body, because that's what keeps muscle tissue. That's what keeps you healthy. That's what keeps everything in play, working as best as possible. So when we look at this, it's an opportunity to address these shortages, to help get calorie control, to help get good balance, help hit those 5 to 6 meals a day. And then when you do that and you're driving in a ton of nutrients and making sure you're plugging nutrient gaps, you're also probably going to have a better workout. You're probably going to be more motivated to move. You're going to have more energy and focus, and you're making sure you're recovering as quickly as possible. So that's really, when you talk about shortages and we talk about the case for supplementation, this is really where I really like to dig into is the calories in, how we're burning them, and making sure we have a drive of nutrients coming into the body. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the product. The next product we're going to talk about for helping out with every single thing you see up here. So stay with me for a second. We're talking about calories consumed. This product's going to help with these 3 things that are up here. It's also going to help with recovery and perhaps even a better performance. And also is going to provide us a ton of nutrients. So if you want to throw down a chat here before I introduce it, start throwing out some ideas what you think the next product is. If you got an idea what it is, I tell you what, it affects all 3 of these. We haven't talked about it yet in the shortage training, of course, because we've only talked about 3. But take a stab at it if you want to. Here's the next product we're going to talk about. Ultimate Cleanse. Now, I'm not sure you'd expect that to be the next product up when we talk about shortages, but let's talk about it, because here's what it is. It's a full body cleanse. And hold on one second, I'm getting a lot of feedback. Let me see if I can mute one of the callers here. The cleanse. So when we talk about, it's a full body cleanse, so it definitely is going to help the body. We're going to address some of those things in a little bit. It also functions as a snack. So it's 145 calories. You got 17 grams of carbohydrates, and most of that is complex, which you probably know is a good form of carbohydrate, and 4 grams of fiber. But it also has 15 grams of protein, non-GMO brown rice protein. So this not only can help solve for the shortage of, you know what, you're not eating enough a day and you need to get that 5 to 6 meals a day. Boom, we solve for that. It is chock full of nutrients. So you're putting a ton of nutrients in the body. it is definitely one key product that, outside of the big three, this really is the next one to discuss when you talk about shortages. Now, what it is not, and I do want to address this, it's not a colon digestive cleanse, meaning that it's not just meant to make you go on the toilet every 15 minutes to a half hour. That's not the role here. It's not restrictive either, meaning that there's not a certain, a lot of people get kind of put off by the concept of a cleanse because they think of, oh my gosh, it's restrictive, or I got to do this and that. And you know what? Here's the deal. You do want to eat healthy. You want to eat as clean as possible when you're taking a cleanse. I mean, that's probably the most important thing that you need to do. And hopefully you're going to do that. So it's not really, it's an easy way to get the body cleansed out. And like I said, it's a full body cleanse. Why you take it is, again, you're providing a ton of good nutrients to your body. It is chock full of antioxidants. It helps promote weight loss. It helps the immune system. It also helps with digestive health. And I'll show you some of the things that are in it that will help with that. So when you look at it, it can help solve for, controlling calories in, providing a ton of nutrients, and helping with recovery and better performance with the workout. Now, how you take it is it's 2 shakes a day. So most of you probably have known this because we've talked about this in the past. You take 2 shakes a day, and you take it for 15 days. The beauty of this product is most people, and especially in that first 7 to 10 days, will see weight loss. Now, is it all fat mass? No, I'm not going to sit here and say it's all fat mass, but what it is, it's your body resetting itself, waking itself up, being able to absorb nutrients better, feeling better, energy, focus, and also can help with the nutrition side of it, with keeping the calories in check and also appetite. So those are some key things, and this thing, I encourage you to really look at the cleanse as a fantastic product for anyone to get started on, especially new clients, especially people that are looking to get, a kickstart to their weight loss going. And when you look at this thing and you really dig into it, this product has the most of as you look at the label, it's got a ton of good things going on. I mean, it's the biggest dense nutrient ingredient panel that we have. So I do encourage you to look at that. I did want to highlight some of the key ingredients for you. Because when I send this slide deck out to you, I want you to have some good things to kind of review on the key ingredients. And B, let's kind of look at it real quick and talk about it, what's in it, because there's a ton of good stuff going on. And you look at MSM as an example, that helps detoxify, also inflammation. It's one of those products you see in a lot of the joint support formulas that kind of goes along with chondroitin and glucosamine. But it's a great product, or a great ingredient, organic sulfur to help with those things. And also does impact joint health as well, and reducing pain and swelling. So that's in there. There's a lot of antioxidants in this thing. I mean, if you're looking at the screen right now, you can see the next 3 up are big, powerful antioxidants. Beta-tenine, which is a blend of 5 antioxidants. Also ALA, very powerful antioxidant, helping with free radical damage. Helping the cells work better, have more energy production. CoQ10, you probably heard of that one. Great for heart health. And then inulin is also a plant starch or fiber that helps with intestines, helps kind of balance out the healthy bacteria, which obviously is important from a digestive health standpoint. So those are some key ingredients. Some more in here. Ginkgo, which you probably heard of for energy, increases blood flow. Google Lipid, which is a really cool one to start looking at if you're not aware of this one. There's some powerful stuff on this one in studies with people that are obese or extremely overweight, of course, really helping reduce body weight. And a lot of that has to do with triglycerides, which you probably know is the fat in the blood. And if you have too much of that, obviously there's a reason why you have it, and it gets stored, but it can help effectively lower triglyceride levels. And then TMG, which helps detoxify the blood. Citramax, also HCA in it. That helps with serotonin. You probably heard of serotonin. That's that thing that makes you feel less hungry. Usually takes what? From when you're eating food, 15, 20 minutes, I think, for it to hit the brain and say, you know what, I'm starting to feel pretty good. Most people, they got their meal done in probably 5 to 10 minutes. So it can obviously help with that. And I wanted to highlight some of these key ones just because you kind of get an idea of what's in this product that really makes it truly an effective cleanse. for the full body, but also there's a lot more in here, guys. I mean, there's other ingredients to check out, but these I handpicked these as kind of the key ones that I like to talk about, and it's not that you're going to go around and tell everyone the top 10 or 5 key ingredients in it, but I want you to know it has a ton of antioxidants, a ton of things in it to detoxify, and also help with digestive health. And basically, the whole concept here is clean the lymphatic system out. People have been eating pretty crappy. They haven't been moving. They're probably just, their body is just, it needs that. It needs to get cleansed out. And when you do that, when you clean out the lymphatic system, your ability to absorb nutrients goes up. Why is that so powerful as well? Gosh darn it. Your ability to absorb more nutrients is going to help you in every single facet possible. Making sure that you're using that protein as best as possible. You're helping rebuild muscle tissue. Your immune system is locked down, especially this time of year. We know a lot of people tend to get sick, and it's just the nature of the season. But there's a lot of great things, and when you're absorbing nutrients better, it impacts everything. Promotes weight loss. It promotes better recovery of exercise and all those wonderful things that we're looking at. So this is truly a great product to address a lot of those common shortages that we've talked about. Now, lastly, I want to leave you with this. We just came out with a new set of meal plans, and these are on our website. You can get them on the website with a 21-day jumpstart program. I wanted to show you this. Obviously, you guys as a team may find a lot of value out of this and may want to use this or may want to structure some kind of a promotion around it. Or bottom line, we're talking about addressing these shortages and having that conversation of why a multi-meal replacement, a protein, or a cleanse. Here's a great way to say, hey, here's a solution for you. Because we know that it's hard for you to plan. You may not have the knowledge, and you have all these different shortages that we want to address to get you the best results as quickly as possible. Let's do it for 21 days. Here's a jumpstart program. Well, the thing I love about this is a new set of meal plans for us. They're in different calorie marks, 14, 18, 21, 24. You'll see them on the website, or I can send them to you if you want them. But they're also, the sodium in the meals has been reduced. You know that these meal plans are designed by an RD, a registered dietitian, Sarah, that works with us. But I look at this and I'm like, this is great because I'm addressing shortages. Listen, we know the case for a multivitamin. Boom. Here's where you take it, breakfast and lunch. We know that people need to be eating more, and the ease and convenience of shakes is great. So boom, take your meal, your snack, AM, PM, throw in the cleanse. Let's bring that nutrient boost even further up and provide your body a ton of good stuff to promote that weight loss. This is a pretty easy way to say, hey, let's address some of those key shortages for you, and let's get you on the right plan here. So this is a 21-day jumpstart. Again, I'll send it in the slide deck so you can kind of get a feel for it. But go to our website. It's really cool, guys. There's a bunch of different calorie marks for it. We're also coming out with a new weight loss one, which will have a little bit different feel to it. But the bottom line is when we look at these shortages, all it is a conversation. And I'm hoping, especially with those first 3, the multivitamin, daily essentials, the protein, hitting your magic number, the meal replacement, providing ease and convenience to 5 to 6 meals, which is tremendous value in helping people. Hopefully you're having that conversation with everyone. And it really addresses where we started this whole thing at in the beginning is most people, they have those common shortages. And so it helps them provide that solution and make it easy for them. And that's at the end of the day, supplementation that's what it is. It's a supplement. It's an add-on to what they do from a nutrition and exercise standpoint. So with that, I appreciate you guys jumping on for another training. I'll get you out this slide deck here today. And let me know if you have any questions as we move forward and continue on the shortages series that we got. So again, appreciate it. Thank you guys. Have a good rest of your day.